Hey friends, how y'all doing? I'm back to review Insecure. I don't have no do-rag on today because I got a haircut, but I've been social distancing. This episode, episode 3, what is it called? Lowkey Thankful, was such a good episode to me. To me, y'all know Insecure has to do the build up of the quiets before the storm. And I feel like that's what they're doing here with this episode. We're starting to see the tension, we're starting to see the rifts erect, we're starting to see the divides deepen between the characters. We're starting to see the divides deepen between Issa and Molly. We're starting to see the rift direct between Condola and Lawrence, and shit is about to hit the fan. Probably on episode 5, if not 6 at the latest. Between, and then we're gonna see the storm on the penultimate episode, or maybe the penultimate episode. But this episode was so good to me. Y'all know I got my notes because I like to have this shit in chronological order for y'all. I try to make sure I don't want to have no just shit all over the place. I try to make sure that it's scene by scene, cut by cut, line by line. So here we go. Let me get my phone. So this episode opens up with Lawrence. He is in the mirror rehearsing for an interview that he's about to have with his bosses over at Meridian. Lawrence is ambitious. He's thirsty for a promotion, so he is giving his best lines for this interview until he is interrupted by the most egregious fucking sound that is Condola's alarm, and I can't even remember what that shit even sounds like. I just know I didn't like it. And whenever I think of like alarms, I always, and how annoying it could be, I always remember back in 7th grade when we had the flip phones, and you could have like a ringtone be set as your alarm. So my sister pretty much gave me one of her hand-me-down phones that wasn't even on anymore, and on her phone she had a couple ringtones, and I pretty much just picked the best one to be my alarm, and it was Love by Keisha Cole. So every morning when I had to get up for school, I'm being waken up by Love. Every fucking morning. I still love that song to this day, but just imagine every day getting up for school and how you can get tired of that shit. Even though you love it, you get tired of it. But he's interrupted by that shit, and he goes in the bed with her, starts smooching and shit, kissing her with all her fucking morning breath. My goodness. And she tells him her Thanksgiving plans, and I feel like on Lawrence's family, we haven't seen his mom. He didn't even mention his dad, so he doesn't even have any set in stone Thanksgiving plans. He said he was just gonna hop around, and she said, "Well, I'm gonna have a Friendsgiving." And Lawrence pretty much took, I guess he was taking the initiative. I guess he wanted to show that he was really into her, or just maybe trying to win some brownie points with her. So he kind of asked if he should go, and she said yeah. So she allowed him to come through, which I'm just like, we don't really know how long Condola and Lawrence have been a thing. One thing about Insecure is that it really doesn't show us how much time has passed since the last season. Like, over the course of the show, from the first season to the third season, was all in a year time span, because Issa had her 29th birthday on the series premiere, and on the season 3 finale she had her 30th birthday, so a year had passed. So I don't know where we are in season 4 because they didn't really let us know. I think the only thing they've been letting us know that is 2 months before the block party, and they've been doing these months in every episode. So I'm like, okay, so in the next 2 episodes is gonna be block party time. So that means a lot is gonna. If the block party happens on episode 5, then that means a lot is gonna transpire for the next 5 episodes, which I think is great. Give us more content, Issa, because we deserve. But anyway, she permits it, allows him to fucking come through on Friendsgiving. And then the next scene cuts to him getting ready to go to Meridian. He's going into Meridian to go meet with Tim and Cameron. And he has the most awkward fucking exchange with the receptionist. Like he lets her know that he's there for the interview, and she's like, "Oh yeah, something happened, and it's been postponed." And he's like, "Well, is everything all right?" And she's like, "Everything's perfect." And I'm immediately my first thought was, "Is he fired right now?" And nobody gave him the notice that they David Ruffin his ass. Did he get fired on his day off? Like, what the fuck? But I guess we'll find out later on. So Lawrence, I guess Chad picked him up or whatever the case may have been, but he's in there just telling him like what's going on, and apparently Chad thought the same fucking thing that me and my mother thought. Like, did he fucking get fired? And he's like, nah, an investor pulled out of the company. Half of the company is being let go. My position is secure, and I'm the only black guy, so they need me to make that quota. They need me for the motherfucking affirmative action and shit, so I ain't going nowhere anytime soon. But he says the problem that he is having is that he is not able to move up in the company as a result. He is not trying to be stagnant, which is great because I definitely know about being stagnant at my job. My very first job, I was stagnant part time the whole 4 years that I was there. So it definitely does something to you. Like, is this all my life going to be? Is this all I can obtain here? And sometimes jobs are super fucking hard to come by, especially in terrible ass job markets. So you just never know if you can go find something where you can progress a lot faster somewhere else. That could be a fucking risk that could be in between you and being unemployed. So it's best just to be careful. Not necessarily wait things out, but be careful. So Chad's like, don't even worry about it. I'm the one who should be fucking worried. I ain't sold a house in a month. I'm out here struggling. And Lawrence is like, well, nigga, why the fuck did you buy this new Range Rover? And he's like, I'm trying to keep up appearances. I'm like, oh my God, Chad, you really one of them corny ass niggas who fucking post the most material things, stay posting their money phones and all that kind of shit just to show people that you got it when you really don't. Come on now, Chad. I expect more. But looking at his fucking scene and this scene, this is the very first time I've seen this in Chad. I'm like, Chad is Lawrence's Kelly. Are we ever gonna see Chad intermingle with Tiffany, Derek, Molly, Dro, and all of the rest of Issa's friends, including Kelly? Are these two ever gonna meet somewhere in this show? Maybe he might leave Leah's ass for Kelly. I would love to see it. Cue Monique gift. But anyway, he was like, don't be sweating all that bullshit. At least you still have a job. You're doing a lot better than you were last year or whatever the year was, as I stated earlier, because you were a bum and you ain't no bum no more. I'm the bum in this situation pretty much. So I don't want to hear it. So Lawrence goes to meet with Condola for a date, and and not there immediately, but when he goes there, he sees Issa there, sitting there watching, looking for Jaquan on her laptop, and I'm like, Jaquan the rapper? Jaquan, everybody in the club get tipsy? That Jaquan? Like, what Jaquan we talking about? But then the guy on the screen didn't look like that guy, so I'm like, okay, this must be one of those shows within the show. Excuse me. With that being said, so he calls her name, she gets up, they hug, and he asks her what she watching, looking for Jaquan, and she tells him yes, and then he's like, spoiler alert, they find him. She's like, oh, we're doing spoilers now? So they do that little cute movie banter that they did that we got a chance to see on season 3 finale when they were quoting, what was it, The Last Dragon? Whatever movie it was, when they were like, kiss my Converse, show enough, all of that. And I think I see so many people, because I'm in the Facebook Insecure discussion group, and I see so many people who always post a question or post a statement of, will Lawrence and Issa get back together? Will Issa, or should Issa and Lawrence get back together? And I think the reason why people want to see this so much is because we really didn't see them together. It was like Lawrence was on the couch, Issa was fed up, Issa started fucking with Daniel, Lawrence was getting his shit together, she cheated with Daniel, Lawrence found out, they broke up. Like, we really didn't see them be happy and exchange anything at all. We really don't even know what they've ever been like as a couple. So I really feel like when people pose those questions or those statements, it's just the desire to see what we missed out on. Like what were things like between these two when they first got together, before he started becoming a bum and wasn't paying no damn bills and had the imprint of his ass deeper and deeper in Issa's couch. That's what people are dying to see. So anyway, but they exchange, and then out of nowhere, here's Condola again. She's popping up, and that's when I realized that, oh, her and Lawrence were meeting together for a date. And Issa's just like, okay, even though her and Condola said they didn't want it to be super awkward, they never anticipated the shit being awkward in front of fucking Lawrence. So they don't know, neither one of them really know how to act. And it's like they can't talk shit about him to break the ice right there with him in front of them. So Issa's like, I was just here chilling for a bit. I was just ordering my food to go. Fucking waiter bust her the hell out with a cashier, bust her out like, Issa here? I mean, order for here. Like, since when do they tell your business like that? If it's to go, I ain't never been somewhere where they announced, well, maybe I have. I don't remember. But he bust her the fuck out, and on her way out. Now I'm like, wait a minute, Issa, how the fuck you gonna take these people trays and they plates and shit? Talking about something, this is to go. Unless you just gonna eat it out front when they ain't looking. Like, I don't know. She's so fucking awkward. But on her way out, she looks back and she just sees, like, oh my God, Lawrence and Condola look so good together. And I feel like in that moment, seeing them together was reminding her of the way she and Lawrence used to be. That's what I was getting in that moment. So the next scene cuts to Issa and Molly going grocery shopping, and Issa is watching Kelly's fucking Instagram live where she is counting down the days to fucking Thanksgiving, but she got a little, I don't know what she has, some yak, some Hennessy. Niggas love Hennessy, so I don't know. I can really can some Crown Royale. I don't know. Somebody tell me what the fuck it was, but she cuts she skips off that, and her and Molly are talking, and Molly's asking her about avocados, and Issa makes a joke about avocados. And Molly was just not, she's looking at her like, bitch, we are not amused. She was not amused whatsoever. And she brings up the fact that her dad loves it. And Issa's like, oh, so you and your dad are cool now? She's like, no, I'm still not fucking with him. And I'll delve into that a little later. But they continue down the aisle, and Molly asks Issa, should she invite Andrew over for fucking Thanksgiving? And Issa's like, no, you shouldn't, because y'all only been dating a couple months now. You gonna pull a old you and scare him the fuck away. And immediately, you're starting to see that Issa's emotional intelligence has fucking plummeted, okay? Because she was, in the last episode, Issa was not reading Molly at all. As far as like, with Condola, she was not reading her about the shit that she had to say about Andrew and how she was making Molly feel about her statements. Like, Issa has not been there emotionally for Andrew whatsoever. She's been very short and very disinterested. My eye is bothering me. She's been very short and very disinterested. And Molly's just like, I think at that moment, Molly's like, you know what? I don't feel like I need to talk to this bitch about my potential dude no more. I feel like that's a wrap. But whatever she was feeling, she was not feeling that smart ass comment. She was fucking over it. So they continue down the aisle, and she's looking at Issa dump all this shit. And if there's anybody who works in retail the way that I do, we are so annoyed when we just see the most random shit in places that they clearly do not belong. Like, bitch, who the fuck told you to put these eggs with this bread? Like, thank you. You just spoiled our fucking product for what? You know? She's like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I can't afford none of this shit. The block party is a fucking day away, and Condola and I are in the thick of it. And Molly makes a comment like, I still can't believe you acting like you cool with this. And Molly's like, I am cool with it. And she was like, well, I'm glad to see your throuple is a success. And Molly and Issa's like, bitch, you was just in your throuple with Dro yesterday. So immediately the two of them are like, whoa, foul. And I have to say, this all stemmed from that nasty ass comment that Issa, well, I don't want to say it was a nasty ass comment, but it definitely was a tone deaf ass comment that Issa made about her running Andrew away. First of all, Molly is not entirely secure with herself when it comes with dudes, and you would think Issa would know that because Issa's been there with every fucking dude from motherfucking Chris to Jared to who else? The thirsty dude to the doctor dude to motherfucking to Quentin to motherfucking damn, we gotta do the nigga rundown again to Dro. Like she knows Molly is not secure with how she's supposed to act with these niggas. So for you to sit up there and make a fucking stab at her like, oh, you gonna run his ass away again. Like Molly's not trying to be reminded of that shit. She's not trying to be reminded of the fact that she has the worst luck with dudes. Like, come on, Issa, that was whack. And so her guard was up. So when Issa brought up Condola again, she was just like, I still can't believe you cool with it. And how could you really be cool with it? Like knowing how like messy your life can be. And Issa's like, she was on the defense at that moment. She was like, you throwing stones and you've been in a glass house. And Molly's like, bitch, at least I'm not fucking for toiletries and whatever the fuck it was. And Issa's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And one thing I really appreciated that in that moment, they was like, you know what? They kind of acknowledged that there's been a disconnect and they both agreed to talk about it and to get to the bottom of it. Instead of just being like, you know what, bitch, I'll talk to you later, I'm out. And just go their separate ways. That was like some maturity. But in that sense, I really felt like that was just all Issa because Issa has been rubbing Molly the wrong way, especially every time Molly tries to talk to her about her personal life. Issa's just like, and I feel like this is just Issa being in her own head again, like in season 2. Like Issa was so like, oh, I just want to feel good. I really don't want to think about Lawrence. Like she had a big ass fat ass L on her head that she was trying to find a W with anything, which is why she felt like she had to have a rotation, which is why she just had to have a success at that school where the principal was trying to leave out all the Latinos, where she was just not thinking about how it was really affecting everybody around her. And I feel like she really wants this block party to work, but she really wants to get over Lawrence and she's just not over it. So she's just like, fuck it, I need this to win because I'm really in a dump with my ex. He's happy, I'm not. And I'm trying to do this block party, never done it before. I'm trying to make sure it's not a flop. I don't have time to worry about anything else. And I feel like Molly is catching the brunt of all of that, and that's just not fair whatsoever. So the next scene, Molly, let's see where we at. Oh yeah, so Lawrence goes over to Condola's house. It is time for the Friendsgiving. He's in his nice little disco shirt. It just looks so 70s to me, trying to make it's pretty tight. It's tight around the chest and the shoulders. It looked like if he reached all the way up, it'll either come up and expose his stomach or it'll tear at the armpit side. It just did to me. And it looked a little glossy too. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. It wasn't my shit. Although I do love black and white. That wasn't really for me. But he comes in with some bottles. Okay, it's always whenever you have somebody who comes to any of your events and they actually bring something, they're definitely that's promising. That's a very promising fucking trait that they're showing you, like that they're selfless. Okay, they're willing to go the little extra mile instead of doing the bare minimum. Well, I guess kind of bringing something, but yeah, if you got sense, okay, if you got sense, then bringing something is the bare minimum. Now, how expensive it is or how useful it is determines if it's going the extra mile or not. But he brought something over, and Condola tells him everything's cool. But he notices that the sink isn't working. He offers to fix her sink. So while she decides to go do something with that, I don't know what the fuck was on her head. I don't know what was on her head, but I didn't like it. But while she's going to go do something with that, he's like, I can fix your sink. And I thought this motherfucker was going to pull up some how-to shit on Google, but he took it a step further and did the how to fix a sink on YouTube, the nigga edition, okay? Which was, excuse me, damn near like erotic, looking like motherfucking HBO. Well, I don't want to say HBO porn, looking like Cinemax porn, looking like eventually a bitch was gonna come in there, like whoever house that was gonna come in there and start sucking his pipe. So Molly goes home for Thanksgiving and she starts talking to her mom, who comments on how thick Molly has gotten since she's been at this new firm. And she's like, Mom, you can just tell me that this new weight looks good on me. That's all you can say. We're known for our ankles. I don't even know what the fuck that means, Mom. Are you trying to say we fat? We got fat ankles? I don't know. It was weird. But we see Molly's family again. We see Curtis, her oldest brother. We see Jerome, her youngest brother, and Jerome has this little pregnant little dingbat with him. And Molly's like, you know, you got 3 more months before you can jump ship. And he's like, why the fuck does everybody keep saying that? Because you probably should fucking listen. If Curtis' baby mama trapped him, you made that bad luck may have spilled over to you to where this baby may not even be yours. She may be trapping you with a baby that's not yours. And everybody's probably getting that same idea, so you probably need to run, Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. But they're talking, and let me see. What else happened? Because I feel like in this scene, it wasn't really like a lot. Hold on. That's some other shit. Oh my God. Did I jump the fucking shark? I feel like no. Oh yeah. It was a pretty short scene. Motherfucking her girlfriend is his Jerome's girlfriend is a dingbat. I feel like it was something else. Oh yeah. That's what it was. Molly's father had came in there and started speaking to her, and he offered her that Snapple. Now if you remember in season 2, she loves those Snapples, but she was like, oh, I'm trying to cut out sugar now. I'm going vegan. Just some shit she just made up on the spot. And Jerome takes one. And the dingbat girlfriend was like, hey, Fat Albert. Made the whole room uncomfortable when everybody left. Now, the next scene, Issa and Amal are going home to their fucking family on Thanksgiving. And they start to panic when they see ambulance in the not in the driveway, but in the yard. So they get to running, and they're like, oh, it's just Stanley. I don't know if Stanley is the husband or if he's just the boyfriend, but either way, he either didn't try to bond with Issa in the mall or was unable to, because they didn't give a fuck about that nigga. They like, oh, it's just him. And we noticed that Wendy Raquel Robinson, I don't know if it's Raquel or Raquel, Raquel Robinson is the mom. And I'm just like, that's a horrible choice. That was bad casting. I was not feeling it whatsoever, because it's not even that you have to be dark skinned to have dark skinned children. But I don't feel like the odds of a light skinned woman and a brown skinned man, dark skinned man just having like two. Well, and she's not even entirely light skinned, but she is light hair. She's like a lighter brown, caramel cutie, whatever. But she just doesn't look like she could be Issa's mom or Amal's mom at all. You got two dark skinned kids. No, they could have got Loretta Devine. Wendy Raquel Robinson could have been like Kelly's mom or Tiffany's mom. That would have been better for me. Especially how Wendy Raquel Robinson played. Damn, what was her name on the Steve Harvey show? Regina. How she played bougie ass Regina on the Steve Harvey show. She can play bougie. So she could have played Tiffany's bougie ass mom. But no, as motherfucking Issa's mom, no, they could have got Cheryl Lee Ralph. They could have got Vanessa Bell Calloway. They could have gotten Loretta Devine. They could have gotten so many other better choices than Wendy Raquel Robinson. She could have played somebody else's mom. And since we don't know what the dad looks like, the dad is really gonna make it make sense. So who knows when he'll make his debut on the show. But it was nice to finally see Issa's mom, but we didn't even get to see her be Issa's mom, because it's like she got in the ambulance and then she went to fucking go to the hospital with him. And I'm like, what? He sprained his ankle or some shit? It's Thanksgiving. That nigga gonna be okay. Go back and like, yeah, stay with him for a couple hours and then come back and spend Thanksgiving with your children. Like, I can't even see my mom doing that, especially like this not her husband or the father of her children. Like, I really can't, like, no. You definitely divide up your time, especially when that nigga gonna be all right, because he fucking broke his ankle. He tore his Achilles heel. He tore his meniscus. He had his appendix taken out. Like, you gonna go skip on Thanksgiving and just have y'all kids who you know, I'm pretty sure y'all know, don't fuck with each other on Thanksgiving? That was kind of whack. And I'm just like, this shouldn't be the way we were introduced to Issa's mom. Like Issa being like the main character, we never seen her mom. And then we finally do see her as like a small cameo appearance because she want to go be with some sorry ass nigga in the hospital. That was whack. But Molly, I mean not Molly, Issa and Amal decide we're gonna go elsewhere for Thanksgiving. Fuck them grown twins. We out. We were only gonna fuck with them because we had to, but since we don't have to, we not doing it. So Condola's Friendsgiving is going well. Lawrence is working the room. One thing I noticed immediately was the cute lesbian couple, and then the weird exotic couple to the right, and Condola Condola and Lawrence just look like the minority in the room. I don't want to say look like the normal ones because the lesbian couple was cute, but they just seem like the ones who didn't have anything else going on with them. If I hope that didn't come out too harshly, because I'm not really trying to fucking. I'm just saying like the exotic couple was weird, like they were fucking weird, but the lesbian couple definitely were different, you know. So that's what I'm saying. But I guess on their spectrum, Lawrence and Condola would be different. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, he's working the room and he's, amusing everybody. He really fit right in, but as he was talking to the Condola's friend who was also in tech, you can see like those insecurities really start to show in his face because she was at a tech firm that was doing really well and his was seemingly on the downfall because I feel like Lawrence was front like he really doesn't even know if his job is secure or not, and I feel like that was on his face, like you could see it all in his face. So I feel like he definitely was just like, oh shit, here's someone doing something I want to do, but doing it better than me, and they seem to have it all, and I don't. And not only that, but Condola's into it now. Like she's like asking questions now, and I feel like that's probably something he wanted to keep from her because he don't want her to feel like he can't do for her. But other than that, he was really feeling the room, but I definitely noticed those little chakras close up when she was talking about well, she wasn't even talking about how dope her firm was. He already knew how dope it was and how you can see that he wanted to be there. As he said, he was thinking about moving on. But how long was he thinking about moving on? Furthermore, Molly is talking with her mom, and she is telling, and her mom is just hoping that somebody is in her picture, which, as most parents do, they don't want their children to be alone, especially if they're not alone. And misery loves company. So if I feel like if mom was alone, she really wouldn't be checking for Molly having a relationship. But Molly's telling her about Andrew, but she was kind of reluctant. But she shows her a picture, and Curtis comes in right on cue, and mom shows Curtis the picture. And they're both like, what's up with this Asian nigga? I didn't understand. I didn't catch the reference or the joke or whatever the mom was trying to say when she was asking, was he Korean? But motherfucking Curtis asked, was he crazy and rich? And I feel like that was an ode to HBO's movie, Crazy Rich Asians, which was very good if y'all haven't watched it. But she's like, I was thinking about inviting him, but Issa said I might have scared him away. And you can tell that really like dug into her for her to bring it up to her mom. But her mom was like, you shouldn't even worry about that because your brothers clearly don't worry enough. And she looks over at them hoes, one pregnant, don't know who the father is, nobody's for certain who the father is, and then the other one coming to Thanksgiving in a black leather dress, okay, and some motherfucking stripper heels. Stripping his clothes, bitch, we social distancing. Why you got them on? Anyway. So Lawrence is, I'm sorry, Issa and Amal decide to have Thanksgiving at a Mexican restaurant, and I love Mexican food, well, Latino food, Spanish food. I don't want to just say Mexican, because whenever I say Mexican food, any Mexican I'm talking to, they're always going to say that shit is not real Mexican food. And I'm like, motherfucker, what is? Because I want some, okay? So they start to recollecting all the little funny memories for the holidays about motherfucking dad throwing a chicken at mom and how they both were a mess. And I'm always like, holidays always suck, but at least you got to be yourself. And he was pretty much talking about how it was hard for him, excuse me, being gay at holidays, and when he brought his roommate over, and the mom pretty much sneak dissed him in a fucking prayer. I haven't drank anything I've not been drinking. I haven't had an ounce of anything in some time today. I don't know what this is coming. All these burps and these little hiccups coming from. I have no idea. But Issa brings up the fact that I just did it again. Issa brings up the fact that what happened to Jordan. I liked him. He was cool. And he was like, you know what? I had to get rid of him and Cody. And I'm glad he got rid of Cody. No white people. But got rid of Cody ass. And he was like, I'm tired of trying to change myself for people. I'm just gonna be who the fuck I am. Some niggas just gonna have to deal with who the fuck I am, and that's just gonna be that. And I'm like, that's a word. Can't really relate because I ain't never got that. I ain't never got that far into anything with anybody. So, but I'm gonna just take your word for it. So, Issa, she tells that resonated with her, and she tells him that she had seen Lawrence and Condola at a restaurant. They looked happy and it was cool, but on a on the flip side, she's just like, man, I feel like she's reaping up all the benefits of the work that I put in for this nigga. He paid for lunch. I ain't never get no lunch that's paid for me, and I'm just like, really, Issa? 5 years this motherfucker ain't never bought you shit? My God. And then I guess that couch he bought, he ended up taking. It's just awful all around. And she's like, she's insecure about that. She's like, man, I spent all this time with this dude and I didn't even get to experience his best self. I got the worst of him. And she just comes on in and gets the best of him. Like, how unfair is that? Like, her insecurities are starting to come out. But here's what I want to say to this. It's just on the outside, Issa. You don't know the inner workings of that relationship. And if it is good right now, you don't know how long it'll stay good. So it's best to just be like, you know what it was, and if it's meant to come back, then it'll be back. But you don't know how shit is gonna go with Lawrence and Condola. With this whole shit with him potentially losing his job or really not, or all this stress at his job, he might go right back into his depression and go right back to being a bum. But not at Condola's expense because they don't fucking live together. But anything could happen to where they're not together again, and he may right back be on the bum, and it may be the best that you did cheat on him and he did leave you because you would have had to go through that all over again because clearly you don't have it in you to tell that motherfucker like, look, you got 3 months to get your shit together, you gotta get the fuck out my house. Clearly not. But I'm always like, yeah, fuck that nigga. Don't worry about that shit. And Issa's like, cool. So Molly and her family are starting to play taboo, and Curtis suggests that, says that you're always on Dad's team. Molly still has her father on ice. So she's like, you know what, we have an odd number this year. Maybe I should just keep score. And her nephew got a little hurt, and Masika Kalisha from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood fame, says to him, oh, she was just telling jokes. You're gonna be the scorekeeper. And that's when Curtis invites Molly into the kitchen to talk. And he's just like, Mo, what the fuck? How long you gonna drag this shit out? And she like, what? She's like, you've been giving Dad your ass to kiss for like 6 months now. What the fuck is up? And Molly's like, look, just because you and Mom can pretend that shit didn't happen, don't mean I can. And he like, how the fuck Mom is pretending that shit didn't happen when it fucking happened to her? That was real tone deaf of Molly to say. It really was. I mean, she can feel how she want to feel about it, but at the end of the day, Molly, you are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like innocent, but you were not harmed in that process at all. You kind of choosing to be upset about it. Like, because as Curtis was explaining to her, he made a mistake and he made it right for his family. And now his family is still here today because of him making it right. You choosing to be upset about it now, what is that really doing for you? And she was like, well, it just really fucked me up. Which I get it as a pass because Molly is fucked up on the inside. She's in therapy to work through that bullshit. And he's like, look, you gotta understand, that nigga made a mistake. And she's like, don't call Dad a nigga. And he was like, Dad's are niggas too, who grew the fuck up and manned up. And what he was really reminding her is that, like, yeah, I understand how you put your parents on a pedestal, but you have to remember that parents are people too. And parents make mistakes. So allow them to make mistakes and forgive them for those mistakes. And even in this case, it's like Molly, it really isn't your mistake. It really isn't. Yeah, it's not even his mistake for you to forgive because he didn't do it at your expense. It was at the expense of your mom. And if your mom didn't want to deal with it, then she just wouldn't have. But Molly has also to remember, you don't even know when this cheating happened. So it's like, say he cheated before and she left him. You would not have even been born. So leave it alone, bitch. But Molly, she hears what Curtis is saying. I mean, Curtis is like, and bring your ass in here because I want to fucking play Taboo, which was just so like grown adult childish behavior amongst siblings is just golden to me. So Lawrence is still, working the room with the friends. Robin Thede drunk ass is just over laughing at every fucking thing, and Lawrence is clearly uncomfortable. So he was like, you know what, let me get everybody some more drinks when clearly she don't fucking need to have anymore. But she insists on following his ass in the kitchen. And she's like, she's drunk as fuck. And as y'all say, as the saying goes, a drunk person tells no tales. Okay? So a drunk person, Tells, no Tales. Look at me try to spell on the spot and can't. But anyway, pretty much a drunk, what's that? A drunk mind speaks a sober tongue. I think that's what it was. Yeah, or yeah, that's what it was. But she's in there like, yeah, you're so good for Condola right now. You're everything she needs, because she really is trying to get over after Mark left her. She's really needed someone to help her get over it. And he like looking at her like, oh, really? That's cool. But on the inside, he was like, bitch, are you calling me a rebound? So he goes over to go, I guess, rinse some dishes out, and then water fucking bust all over his shirt, and it's like this is why you don't get how to fix things from YouTube tutorials, okay? And that's to everybody watching. If you see me on here doing a how to fix a sink tutorial instead of insecure review, dislike the video. Actually, flag it to be removed, okay? Because I definitely don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Be that as it may. So Issa, oh, where we at? Oh shit! I think I may have fucked up my order. My bad. I try to be on top of things. I end up fucking it up. But so Lawrence later that night helps Condola clean up, and how did it get to the confrontation? Oh yeah, because he was saying thanks for inviting me, but she just like kept laughing like, nigga, I didn't fucking invite you. You invited yourself kinda. And I really didn't want to pressure you, but I really wouldn't have wanted you to be here. That's how it came off to him. And he was like, so you wouldn't have invited me? She's like, no. And he was like, well, is that because I'm just a fuck but so what she said was true, I'm just a fuck buddy. And she was like, well, why? What do you mean? I don't know why she said it. I'm sorry. She's a mess. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, be sorry all you want, but why the fuck would she just randomly say that shit? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. She just don't fucking know. And Lawrence just got right down to the nitty gritty of it, like, well, am I a rebound? And she's like, no, but if anybody needs to be worried, it's me because you and Issa, y'all have y'all little cute movie jokes. Y'all all have the same friends, but it's like Condola. You knew this going into, well, did she know it? No, no, no. I don't think she knew it. But it's like you had to have seen, even though they didn't speak to each other at the baby shower, you had to have seen Issa there. I'm pretty sure she had seen all of them, but whatever the case may be. But it's like even then, oh yeah, but she didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't know they were together. Apparently not. Yeah, she may have seen Issa, but she didn't know they were each other's exes. But whatever, bitch, you know now. So you still have the opportunity to just, disconnect yourself from the situation. If you're not, then I don't really see the point of even bringing that up. Like, are you really worried? How does it make you feel? Issa and Lawrence don't even like talk every day. Like they spoke that day because it was happenstance. But If she feels that way, she's gonna be pissed if she ever finds out that they had that little conversation to stop talking about each other. So I feel like Lawrence is worried that Issa may be telling her that he was a bum and that's why she cheated. So I don't know, but whatever the case may be. But he's like, look, he asked her, was he just a fuck buddy? She said no. And he's like, are you still getting over your ex husband? She said no. And he's just like, okay. And they just left it at that. So Amal is being dropped off by Issa, and they had a great day bonding together, which was cool. Cause any other time we see Issa and Amal, especially in season two, like they really weren't getting along. It's like we're just siblings, nothing more. But we actually got to see them be cool and actually bond together as siblings. And they were in the car, and mom had texted them and said everything was all right. Thank you for staying for dinner. I don't know if that was a passive aggressive ass remark she made. Like if she knew they didn't stay, maybe the twins told them that the motherfuckers never showed up, or if she just assumed that they stayed for dinner, or whatever the case may have been. But even still, mom, you can side eye them all you want to, but I'm side eyeing you. You should have left that nigga in the hospital because nothing was that fucking wrong with him. And you should have came home and celebrated Thanksgiving with your kids, okay? Your blood, not some nigga you just fucking or some nigga you've been married to for 4 years, okay? These are your kids, okay? So, Issa tells Maul that she and Molly need to have a talk because of just friend shit, and she was a little remorseful about not staying for dinner, but Amal wasn't. He was like, fuck that. You do not have to do things that people tell you to do just because they told you to. Quote my therapist. And she was like, you know what, you right. And I'm just wondering, like, what is that gonna do for Issa? I feel like that's gonna have an adverse effect on her relationships with everybody. Like, because he made that statement in the car, then he also made like a similar statement about people just having to accept you as you are at the restaurant. So I'm just like, what is that gonna do for Issa? Because Issa's like easily influenced. Like when Molly told her to act like she was good, even though she wasn't, because niggas like want you back when they see you being good without them. So she went out of her way to like have a party and shit. And that didn't work. And then when she was like, you should have a host. Issa's just easily influenced, typically by Molly, but I feel like she's about to be influenced by Amal in the wrong way because Amal don't have what you have going on. See, sometimes people will tell you what they would do as advice instead of telling you what you should do in your situation. Like, don't tell me what you would do for you. What would you do if you were me? You know what I mean? And he wasn't really giving her advice, but I feel like it resonated with her as if it was advice. And I feel like we're going to see Issa make some poor decisions with Lawrence, Molly, and Condola. I think because it's just not looking good. But she decides not to go over to Molly's house for pie time to talk about the shit that they went through. And I feel like that's gonna be another thing that Molly's gonna bring up. Like, bitch, you keep blowing me the fuck off as if I have no value to you at all. And then when we do talk, you dissing me in my relationship that I'm trying to have with Andrew because like you just don't care. Like all you've cared about is this block party and not me. Clearly Self Care Sunday ain't doing shit because you supposed to be in tune with all of that. Like Self Care Sunday is supposed to like help your mental health, and your mental health like grows your emotional intelligence. And Issa don't fucking have any, it seems like, and I'm just like kind of over it. But be that as it may, I can't believe, damn, this is the longest review I've ever done. No, I would like try to like condense it and really get my thoughts out faster, but I really can't be myself the way I really want to be myself because people are here. Like I really need my own creative space to give it to y'all the way y'all need to receive it. But be that as please bear with me in this long ass fucking review. 43 minutes, my goodness. Fast forward this shit if it's like long winded. But anyway, so Molly relents at the Thanksgiving. She gives her father, I don't know if that was like pecan pie, sweet potato pie. Probably was sweet potato pie because, yeah, pecan pie looks like a bunch of roaches, like in the shape of a pie. It looks disgusting. But that was probably sweet potato pie with some icing. So she warms up her father, warms up to him finally, and it's like, come on now. Like, that's your father and your father loves you. See, my dad, he can fucking die. Like, I would never fucking warm up to that weak bitch. But, yo, dad, give it a rest, Molly. And Lawrence is at home looking for, watching, looking for Latoya. And you just see how the show within the show mirrors reality and how the establishment does not give a fuck about us. Like how they do the bare minimum when it comes to finding our black women. Like, okay, like we say all the time, if it was a little white bitch, they'll be all fucking over it, issuing Amber Alerts for grown ass fucking women. But us, they get them mixed up with vehicles. Okay? Satire too real, right? And he's looking at his friend's IG stories, because that look like Instagram to me. And when he sees Issa, he gets a little warm, so he sends her an emoji. And guess who just happened to just be waiting in her DMs, waiting for Lawrence to slide through? Y'all see how quick them bubbles popped up? And then, perfectly timed, Case of the X by Maya starts to playing. Raphael Sadiq does a great job picking these songs, because y'all notice these songs are almost appropriate for every fucking scene. But that's been my review, y'all. I know it's been so fucking long. Hopefully, I got like a little ASMR effect to where y'all are willing to listen to me for 45 minutes straight. So I'm gonna try to do one in 20 minutes less, but I'll be doing like a little speed talking. Like I'm gonna try to get all my thoughts together, and that's gonna be that. Cause I really don't want to give y'all these long ass videos. But thank y'all so much for watching. Until next week.